What's up, guys?
Back at it with another video from the Backups.
This here video is sponsored by Lakers fans. The only fan base who thinks every single good free agent every year is coming to their team.
Bro, dude, we're getting everyone this year. We're getting LeBron, we're getting PG, we're getting Kawhi, we're getting everyone. What are you thinking, fool?
I don't think any of that's gonna happen.
You're crazy. I'm crazy. You're the one who's crazy.
Kobe's gonna come out of retirement. We're gonna have the whole squad back together, baby. It's gonna be
Epic.
Alright, there's no talking to you about this. Let's just get into the video.
alright.
The topic of this here video is something that Lakers fans haven't known a whole lot about in the last few years. The NBA Finals. It just wrapped up yesterday. It was a 4-game series, but there were some games that were pretty interesting. You know, Game 1 especially, that was a nail-biter. That was a really good game. And then Game 3 definitely was pretty
Close.
back and forth. Yeah. So, first guy happened to be the Finals MVP that I'm going to talk about, Kevin Durant. 28.8 points per game, 11 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and 2.5 blocks. He was a monster, defensively, offensively. His best game was obviously Game 3. He basically single-handedly won them that game.
With the dagger at the end.
Oh my God, that dagger at the end, it just, took all of the...
Felt like got deja vu watching it from last year where he just walked up and shot the dagger.
And it was just like right when that shot, it was like, okay, the Cavs don't have a chance. It like broke all their hearts. So I think he really deserves the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
I think, he put in a lot, he was very consistent every game. He was over at least like 25. So I think he deserved Finals MVP, and I think he was the best player in the series.
Yeah, for me it was clear cut that he was the MVP on both sides of the ball. He was the best player in the series. Obviously, LeBron did work, but KD was on the winning side.
That's an understatement. Oh my gosh, yeah. The numbers that he put up all playoffs long, and like especially in the finals, are just ridiculous. Like
with not much to work with.
Yeah,
in the sense of supporting cast.
Yeah, his best player, the second best player on the Cavs, is weak ass Kevin Love, who actually overperformed, in my opinion, in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And, so LeBron, 34 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 10 assists, a block, a steal. He was doing everything because nobody could really do anything besides him.
Yeah, all the series he had, the two that didn't go 7 were LeBronto,
Oh, yeah.
the Toronto series, and then obviously this series, but otherwise it was hard to stop him this postseason. He was, great all the way up until he had to play the Warriors. He was pretty unstoppable.
It's honestly a huge accomplishment that he even got here.
Yeah.
Because with the surrounding cast, he was just horrendous.
If you compare it to other teams like the Iverson Sixers,
I think it's very comparable.
There's a couple other teams in history, but it's one of those one-man show type teams where he really just essentially doesn't have any help anywhere, and it's impossible to beat a all-time team like the Warriors when you don't have any pieces around.
Yeah, I think the second Warrior who was played the second best for them, Steph Curry. I thought he had a really good chance at winning Finals MVP this year for the first time, but that Game 3 where he just kind of shot the bed didn't really help his chances too much. 1 for 10 on threes.
Yeah.
It's just that almost never happens. That's just insane. But he still got almost 28 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He definitely had a good series. I think even though he didn't get MVP, he had a good series for sure.
It was crazy to see his all-time finals 3-point total.
Yeah.
Getting the 9 threes, and then right after he lays a goose egg. And
yeah, it's just what the fuck?
He has 9 3-pointers, and he went 9 for what? I forget exactly what it was. But,
yeah, it was.
He had 9 3-pointers.
It was 9 for 15.
Yeah, 9 for 15.
Or something like that. But
and then he goes 1 for 10, which
yeah,
back to back. It's just a weird performance, but I think Durant just edged him out.
Yeah.
But I think without Curry overall, they would have had a lot harder of a time as well.
For sure. And I think the biggest question that kind of remains after the finals wrapped up. You know, it kind of happened like we thought it would. A lot of people thought it'd be 4 or 5 games. Obviously, this Cavs team, you know, besides LeBron, is trash. And
Horrendous.
it's awful. Yeah, and that's why the main reason that we think LeBron's probably going to leave.
Definitely.
I think he has a few options.
For me and you, we sat down. We thought there was like 3 primary teams, and
Some dark horses.
some dark horse wild card type teams that might have a shot. The first team we thought of was the 76ers. Philly, they've got a lot of young talent.
Joel, Ben.
Joel, Ben, and then even like, you know, Markel. You know,
Yeah,
people might think he's a bust, but he's you know,
He has a chance. Yeah,
young talent sitting
You
there.
can't write him off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got another great ball handler in Ben Simmons, and I know that multiple times on Fox Sports, Chris Broussard, Colin Cowherd, they both went into depth about how LeBron wants to play off ball, so I think that the Sixers would be a good place where Ben can handle the ball, be his fast, usual self, but LeBron can still be dangerous on the floor as well.
And also, there's really no other team, like really good quality team, that's in this good of a situation
Yeah.
as the Sixers are, and they just, you know, they can sign him without really losing anybody. They might not be able to sign someone like Redick
But I
back
think
to the
he's-
like deal. I think Redick will probably take a pay cut, but
Exactly.
I think that the Sixers are a really good team and they could actually get him, which is an important thing. And the next team, I
Moving
know
on down.
we already said that he's probably not going to the Cavs, and I definitely don't think that's a high possibility, but you have to consider it.
Yeah.
You know, every decision LeBron's ever made in free agency surprised me. The Miami decision to surprise me, the going back to Cleveland surprised me, so I wouldn't be shocked if he surprised me again, did what nobody thought he would do, and just stay on the Cavs. And, you know, I mean, he's here now, so if he just wants the continuity, you know, they have that 8th overall pick from the Nets, and, you know, maybe he's just worried that, you know, like the last time he left, the people are going to be salty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's even any actual Cavs fans anymore. I think there's just LeBron fans.
I think there's a good
But-
chunk, but I think they've, you know, he brought them that championship, and that's what they
Yeah.
wanted, so I feel like he's done what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't really have anything against him. You know, I feel like that first time he didn't bring a
Yeah, he didn't
championship,
do it.
and he went and ran and
He
won
couldn't get it
championships.
done. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think the fact that he came back and won,
Mhm.
I think it makes it not as like salty for fans.
Yeah, and then for me, I think the Rockets have the best chance. They have a lot of talent. I know that, you know, LeBron's all buddy-buddy with Chris Paul and, you know, James Harden too, and I just think, like, if you pair him with, like, I think James Harden's a top 5 player, like, and I think Chris Paul is still, like, a top 15 type player, and I think all of them, like, they all have super smart basketball IQs, like, their offense would just be deadly. So I
Definitely.
think they would have to move around some pieces, but I think that would, like, be a really good option, like, scheme-wise and just, like, talent-wise.
Definitely. And then another team that we thought would be a decent chance would be the Spurs. Looking at just how LeBron's never played with not only like a good coach, he's never played with an all-time coach.
Yeah,
And
not at all.
Popovich is, you know, definitely the best coach in the last 2 decades.
He gets
for
things
sure.
out of his players that most coaches don't.
Exactly. So I think Pop would utilize LeBron in the Spurs system probably better than any other location
Yeah.
LeBron could go. He'd be utilized best in San Antonio. And obviously, if Kawhi stays, they would have a really great two-way team.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
whether.
But I think it all really balances on what Kawhi does. So if Kawhi moves on, I don't think the chances of LeBron going and playing for the Spurs are very high.
Yeah.
But if they still have Kawhi and he signs a supermax or whatever, and they move around some of their worser contracts and stuff, I think they could make a push for him.
Yeah, and I mean, some dark horse teams that we kind of had. I mean, the Lakers, I think, personally, scheme-wise, I don't really see how he would fit. I don't really see how they would fit. Lonzo is like, you know, he's really their only really, like, kind of like cornerstone, like, building block piece.
Yeah.
Maybe Brandon Ingram.
Kuz.
Kuz, yeah, I guess. Like,
He's good.
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
16
Yeah,
points
he'll-
off the bench.
but I don't know. There's just not as much there, and I just
Yeah.
think the only reason he would go there if he was just like, yeah, I just kind of want to like chill, maybe do a couple movies, hang out with the celebs, you know, like
Hollywood, baby.
chill with like Kanye. But like, I feel like LeBron's a little bit like
He's a little more into
his
basketball
priorities
than
are a
that.
little bit more like, oh, my legacy. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't think he would win. So it'll definitely be interesting to see where he goes. I mean, the Celtics are another option that's been around.
I think the Celtics.
I think at
almost
this point
them and the
we're getting-
Lakers. Yeah, it's a reach because like
yeah.
Celtics and Lakers, they have a lot of like those big small forwardy type dudes that is like that's LeBron's position. you know?
Yeah, so
I
I
know
don't.
LeBron can move around, but like the Celtics have Tatum
Mhm.
and Hayward. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, who knows? Who knows what they would move around? Obviously, some of those guys can play guard and stuff, but like,
Yeah, but I think the chances are pretty good that he leaves the Cavs, and I think
big
the
time.
Cavs are just gonna have to implode because their roster is terrible. They don't really have any young pieces to build off of. Their best asset's their 8th pick, and then maybe Kevin Love.
Maybe.
And other than that, it's just a whole team full of underwhelming, pretty just trash, overpaid, like, veterans.
Yeah.
They're not going to be, like, a successful team without
No.
LeBron whatsoever. So I think they just need to start over, trade Kevin Love, try to trade guys like George Hill and Tristan Thompson if you can. Their contracts are pretty big, but
Pretty much need to wipe the slate clean and just start over.
yeah.
There's a lot of options with the 8th pick. I think there's guys, Trae Young,
Mhm.
Michael Porter. I think those are two guys that would be pretty crucial that they could get and you know,
Yeah.
like, build off.
Even a guy like McCalbert, like, there's a lot of options at the 8th pick, and I think, you know, I think they're gonna like they're gonna try to make that their like next like guy that they can build around because they're just gonna be bad for the next couple of years. Like that's just a fact. So it'll be interesting to see all the moves they're gonna make because I bet they're just gonna try to blow it up.
It'll also be interesting to see all the Cavs fans disperse to wherever LeBron lands.
Go flock to his new team. Yeah, I don't think anybody's really gonna be going to the Cavs games next year if he's gone.
And they're like their primetime slots for like games is gonna go down. Everything
They're gonna have
see
to
them. You're just not gonna see them as much.
They're
as much.
They're gonna have to pay people to come to the games.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so not looking good for Cleveland. I think the Warriors, looking at the Warriors side of things, they definitely have a few decisions they have to make, but it's a little bit just for more like secondary guys. So I think a guy like Jordan Bell next year could take a big step and maybe become a starter.
So
Yeah, so I mean, I thought, you know, obviously it was a sweep, so it wasn't the most exciting series in the world, like series-wise, but there were definitely some games that were good, some good moments, some embarrassing moments. JR being drunk during game 1, you know, JaVale missing a dunk, like you're 7-1, how do you miss a fucking dunk? And so there were some entertaining moments, some moments that definitely when I thought that the Warriors were going to lose.
yeah.
And so I
A
think
couple daggers, a couple great dunks, a couple off the backboards, a couple deep threes, a couple of everything.
yeah, and now we're going to get into what actually is kind of the mystery. It's free agency. So
Yes.
we're going to have some videos about free agency, talking about, you know, not just LeBron, but also like all the potential free agents and stuff.
And their landing spots.
Yeah,
of
we're going to
course.
come out with another video soon on that. And if you like this video and you like the, you know, NBA Finals, make sure to give us a thumbs up.
like
and
the video.
You know, make sure to comment to let us know where LeBron's going,
Yeah,
or what
let
do you
us
think?
know.
Who's like the front runners for the championship next year? I know the Warriors are.
Are
probably-
favored already.
Yeah, they're already heavily favored, but comment what, you know, your ideas and what your thoughts are, and you know,
Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. The little bell.
hit
Don't
that
forget.
bell,
And
and
yeah, you want to be notified every time we post.
check out more videos down in the channel, and
All kinds of stuff. Have a good day.
peace.
Peace.
Epic.